Well, a small win for some and a big fight over the right to choose. Next week, the Senate will have a second vote on a House bill that passed Monday. Now, lawmakers passed an exception that would save or could save a mother's life if she's in jeopardy during birth. Well, last year, the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. 30 days later, Tennessee made abortions illegal from the point of conception. Well, 17 other states, including Mississippi and Arkansas, also passed a ban. Now, with this small feat in the Tennessee House, our Pepper Baker spoke to a Memphis doctor and patient who has experienced complications during birth.
Michaela Miller gave birth to 3 healthy babies.
The youngest is 2 and the oldest is 13.
But after the 3rd pregnancy, her life was on the line.
I had developed what they call post-preeclampsia, and I had retained a lot of fluid from that pregnancy, and they also labeled me as a diabetic,
which turned into an emergency surgery to drain the fluid from around her heart. And then months later, she found out she was pregnant again.
I consulted my doctor and made the appointment. I was right at 6 weeks. And she gave me her honest opinion. She said, I don't think that you would make it if you had this baby. And I didn't think I would either.
A life-saving decision Miller made with guidance from Dr. Katasha Muse just a few months before Tennessee outlawed abortions.
We know that the infant morbidity and mortality rate is very high, and for Black women as well. And so pregnancy just adds on an additional risk for them.
The Tennessee Department of Health's latest report shows Shelby County has the highest maternal mortality rate in Tennessee, averaging 135 deaths per 100,000 live births from 2017 to 2020. And Black women make up the majority of those cases.
Having to decide whether or not to go through with a pregnancy and putting their health at risk is a major decision. And it also comes back on the physician because we have to counsel them on what the risks are. And that's very difficult sometimes if we know what the outcome can be. And especially if they've had, significant complications in the past from a prior pregnancy.
Now in Tennessee, doctors could face a Class C felony for performing abortions. House lawmakers passed an exception of a mother's life in jeopardy as long as physicians use reasonable medical judgment.
74, 23 days.
My reason for a woman's life being in jeopardy, it may not be another person's reason. So then there's still that gray area where we could possibly get backlash from actually administering an abortion pill.
Which in Miller's case saved her life.
By me going through a traumatic experience, like right before that was passed, I just thought about what if I didn't have a say-so, whether I chose to live or die.
Now, the amendment for the exception if a mother's life is in jeopardy passed the House on Wednesday. It does not include abortions for victims of rape or even incest. Now, it still faces an uphill battle in the state as the Tennessee Right to Life holds a strong opposition campaign. It's on the calendar for March the 28th. Danielle?